Hey everyone, I didn't get to do my Q&A video last week. Only a couple people asked questions. Thank you, Hannah, for all the questions. They will be used, but this video is going to be about my breastfeeding journey. Jace is now 15 months and we don't plan on stopping, I guess, anytime soon. When he wants to stop, that's when we'll stop. But this is going to just be about my breastfeeding journey. It's been full of struggles and tears, lots of milk puddles everywhere and leaks, and lots of bonding and really fun times. So the day that Jace was born, like 20 minutes, half an hour after he was born is when he first latched on. He was a champ at it. All the nurses were really surprised at how good he was doing. Like, he just did really good. After the first day, he started losing weight. I mean, babies are expected to lose weight after they're born. But he lost like a pound, which is a huge amount for babies. And I was really, really worried that he just wasn't getting enough and that my milk hadn't come in yet and he just was getting dehydrated and he was doing really bad. That's what I thought. But by the time that, like the night after he was born, it was just me and him, because I'm a single mom and my parents went home, and so it was just me and him in the hospital, and I was super tired. Like, I hadn't slept for probably over more than 48 hours. Like, I had not slept at all. And so the nurses offered to take him, and they took him to the nursery, and that's when they gave him a bottle. And I did agree to it because I was scared that he wasn't getting enough of my milk. So, I was like, well, he needs to get something. So they gave him a bottle and let me rest up. And when they brought him back, he would not latch on. And they had determined that he got nipple confusion. And it was just struggle after struggle, and he wouldn't latch on. But then a couple days later, when we got we were allowed to go home, he still wouldn't latch on, so he was getting bottles, and it was very, very frustrating because I knew I wanted to breastfeed. So finally, one of my health nurses that went through my pregnancy with me, she came over and she introduced me to the nipple shield. Oh my god, I have such a love-hate relationship with that thing. Like, it saved my breastfeeding journey, but it took forever to get Jace to wean him off of it, because it's a little embarrassing using a nipple shield, especially when you're out in public. I'll get to that later. But so I had the nipple shield, and he was like 4 days old now, and finally breastfeeding again, and it was awesome. But then when we went out in public, I was scared to breastfeed him out in public. I was scared that I was going to get stares, that people were going to say stuff to me, and that being only 17 at the time, that I would get judged more. So when we went out in public, he got bottles, which made my supply drop. I mean, the first little bit, everywhere I went, no matter where I went, it was like an open fire hydrant, just milk everywhere. And puddles of milk everywhere. Like, I'd be walking and I'd leave trails of milk, and like, I couldn't go without a bra because it would just squirt everywhere. Sorry if that's a little too much, but I just find it a little funny. So, but after a while of him having bottles, and I guess he wasn't breastfeeding as much because he was having the bottles more, my supply drastically dropped, and I wasn't able to pump as much as I was before. Like, I was pumping 8 or more ounces at a time. But then one day when I was on Instagram, I started following a couple people who were on the same breastfeeding journey as me, and they really encouraged me to keep going, because I was just so frustrated at the point that I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give up and give him bottles. But after seeing them on Instagram and seeing their breastfeeding journey, I was just like, I'm just gonna stick this out. And so in a way, I kind of owe them a lot, because they helped me continue my breastfeeding journey. But at that point, my supply was low, and so I tried everything there was. I tried everything to get my supply to go back up. I tried oatmeal, flaxseed, brewer's yeast, lactation cookies, those little fenugreek, whatever pills they are, power pumping. I did everything, and nothing really worked. And I was so stressed out about it, because I was like, oh my God, I'm not producing milk for my baby. How is he going to get the nutrients that he needs? He's going to lose weight and not going to be able to thrive. And but then after a little while of doing all that stuff, I just stopped worrying about it. I started just listening to my body. My body's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to provide for him. It's going to give him the things that he needs. And once I stopped worrying about it, my milk supply started going up. Once I stopped trying to get it to go up, once I stopped stressing about it, it went up. Sorry, Jace is sleeping right beside me and I don't want him to wake up. Talking a little too loud. But yeah, so it went up, and then Jace completely stopped on the bottles, and I learned that no matter where we went, he had to eat, and I'm not going to give him bottles to make other people comfortable. If you don't like it, don't look. I'm not asking you to put a blanket over your head when you eat, so don't ask me to put a blanket over my son's head when he eats. Anyway, so I started breastfeeding in public, and I was so confident and amazing. I mean, I have gotten looks and I've gotten a couple of rude comments, but I don't care. It's been amazing. And but yeah, when he was 12 weeks old, he finally got off of the nipple shield, which was the best thing ever. I mean, no longer having to use it, because it kind of was embarrassing to use it in public. I mean, imagine you got your shirt open and you got to put the shield on before you can do anything out in public, and it's like, okay. Well, so finally he got off of it, and there was no bottles, there was no nipple shield, and my boobs were no longer sore, and I no longer squirted milk everywhere, and it was awesome. It was a good feeling. But yeah, I still eat lactation cookies, even though I don't really need them. I mean, they're really, really tasty. They taste really good, especially with lots of chocolate chips. Oops. Yeah, but now I am such a huge, huge advocate for breastfeeding. Like, I try to help out as many people as I can that need help with breastfeeding. And like nursing in public, and just all that type of stuff. We need to normalize breastfeeding. I mean, we have to face it. Boobs are meant to feed babies. That's their purpose. And we have to stop looking at boobs as such a sexual item on a girl, on a woman. And like, boobs, they're just meant for feeding your baby. Yeah, but that being said, with me being such a huge advocate for breastfeeding, I do not look down upon moms that formula feed. That's their choice. It's their life, their baby. They're choosing what's best for their baby and their life. So, but I do encourage all moms to try breastfeeding. And if you don't like it, you don't have to continue doing it. The advice I would give to a nursing mom is just listen to your body. Just kind of know that your body is going to do what it needs to do. It's going to be able to provide your child with what it needs. I mean, it's really rare, but moms do, where there are some moms that can't produce milk. But I have talked to the doctor and done lots of research that it is kind of rare. But yeah, so if you have any questions about breastfeeding and that type of stuff, feel free to ask. I'll answer it and I'll make another video. I kind of actually like making videos. It's fun. So hopefully I'll be able to do this once a week on Wednesdays, because Wednesday's the only days that I get time by myself. And my next video, hopefully Jace will be awake and he'll be in it too. So yeah, if you have any questions, just ask. Don't be afraid. I love answering questions. But if you want to see pictures of Jace, then go to my Instagram. It's at j.amongthetrees, and he's a cutie. I mean, you'll love it. You won't regret it. Follow me on Instagram.